Hi, I am Dr. Balaji Narayanaswamy Ramanathan. This is my channel MNR STR School of Wisdom, part of daily reading. Today we will be reading from the book The Way of Wisdom by N. Sriram. It is published in 1989. It's reprinted in 1993. Here, page number 208 from Voice of the Silence. So we have already discussed Advaita Master, the Light on the Path, and now we are discussing Voice of the Silence. So all these three gems are complementary. Not one is superior or one is inferior. The essence is same. So here, HPP Blavatsky speaks of the monad as being like a distant star, a center of life and light. In the words of At the Feet of Master, it is a spark of God's own fire. 3 of 6. The monad is that point of origin from which every individual has descended. That is to say, it is a thread of consciousness let down into the lower worlds from that highest point which is one with the universal spirit or the universal self. Blavatsky speaks of this letting down of a thread into a lower world as the journeying of the monad into the lower realms. The word monad is used in two different senses. In one sense, it is the spark, the star, an aspect of the universal spirit. In the other sense, it is the pure consciousness that descends into the lower world and becomes numerous things. It acquires knowledge and is conditioned in different ways. Then it is ignorant of its source. So here it is mentioned that it is the spark, but what happens due to this ignorance, due to the ignorance of its source and origin and mistakes for reality for itself, he thinks that is a human thinks his body is separate. His body is separate. And mistaken for reality for itself. Those experiences which is colored and modified. This constituted the fundamental illusion. This is called illusion. Because we are all the what you call the pure consciousness. Actually, we are the divine spiritual beings taken a human body. It is, but we think we are human body with a spiritual experience. No, we are spiritual beings with a human body. Its involvement in matter is registered in the consciousness. When the consciousness merely notes the impact, pure knowledge arises. This knowing does not correct the consciousness or alter its nature. A person can be aware of all things and remain entirely in that state of innocence which was his first state. So we used to say macro and micro. So it is the origin. See, it's like a thread actually. It's like a thread wherein it is not knowledge which takes away one's innocence. It's not the knowledge which takes away one's innocence. It's one reaction. How does we react? That is important. It's one's reaction to what one knows and observes which corrupts. It is the descent of the monad into the different conditions of matter that we speak of as the different principles in man. When we say that from minerals to plant, plant to animal, animal to human being. So just imagine a thread. So if the thread is connected, we are connected with the animal, then connected with the plant, then connected with the minerals. And all this happened only after the creation. And the universal is the one which is the macro. It is before the Big Bang, before the creation of matter. It is one thread, but it has descended into different conditions. At the lower level, its own nature is affected. When all these principles go back into their origin, when the thread is pulled up, so to speak, then the sixth will merge with the seventh. Before the path is entered, thou must destroy the lunar body, 1 of 51. On this path, consciousness identifies itself increasingly with the truth. In order to enter it, one must in a sense destroy the superstructures, the modifications, the perversions of the body, but not the body itself, because it is a mean of knowing of action. And Advaita Master also says, it is the house in which you ride, you have to protect the house. Feed it with pure food and drink, it says. We cannot destroy the emotional nature, but we are to destroy the what's, as C.W. Leadbeater calls them, upon that nature, the twistings and entanglements in which it is caught. We have to destroy before we can build a new. We do not destroy our capacity for knowledge or for affection, but there must be a fundamental change in our nature, fundamental change in our nature, a purgation in which all the poison is eliminated. Here, poison is mentioned as the ignorance, so that we are reformed or renewed. Verse 51 goes on, cleanse thy mind, body, and make clean thy heart. The mind is not destroyed, but it is cleansed of its passions, lust, and fevers. If you examine the pictures in C.W. Leadbeater's book, Man, Visible and Invisible, and particularly those of the astral and mental bodies, you will see that the mental body always bears a resemblance to the astral body. The colors are more or less the same, except that they are a little purer and paler. That is, the mind and thought follow the desires. As your desires and emotions are, so will your thought be. The mind and the emotions make a pair. Blavatsky comments the astral form produced by the karmic principle, the kama rupa, or the body of desire. Desire is a principle, and the form produced by that principle is the lunar body. So here also mentioned is the consciousness. The consciousness is prevailing. But where the consciousness goes off is where personality comes. When a human body is concerned about his personality, about his senses, and he is a slave of the sensations. So it's like a thread, and the pure consciousness is there. So it says that, and it says the higher bodies of an adept, when he is in a state of yoga, unagitated, not thinking of anything, free from every kind of modification, are like moonlight on the calm waters of an ocean. Nevertheless, however calm a person may be, he has still his own particular character. That character is also present in his consciousness. So Annie Besant also says that, see, whoever is having a physical body, he should remember that he is having a past life and he has a karmic debt also. So most often his actions, if he is ignorant, then he follows to a script of his karmic debt. But once he enters in this particular path, knowing this knowledge, divine knowledge of truth, then he has the control and he enters into consciousness. And that doesn't mean he should leave the physical body. It is not the death. As if in the physical body also, it's not the art of dying, it's the art of living. The art of living in pure consciousness. Thank you.